Let's hit the field.
It is Tuesday, June 24th, and the Yankees were taking on the Reds in Game 2 of a 3-game set. Carlos Rodon on the mound, squaring off against Chase Burns, one of the most exciting pitching prospects in all of baseball. Yankees trying to bounce back after a tough loss in Game 1. Could they get it done? My recap and your reactions coming up next. This is Pinstripe Territory.
Just wanted to talk, that's all.
How's it going, everybody? I wish I had an audience rant cam. You know, we got a lot of voicemails tonight. We got a gazillion voicemails tonight. People very unhappy with Aaron Boone tonight. Terry Francona managed circles around him tonight. Carlos Rodon got screwed out of his 10th win. He was fantastic tonight. And Boone pulled him probably an inning too early with 88 pitches. I get it. It's hot. Getting paid a lot of money to work in the heat. Boone pulled him an inning early, and the Yankees came up an inning short with pitchers. I mean, that happens. But it happens far too often with this team. Aaron Boone continues to mismanage the bullpen and mismanage the Yankees, and the June swoon continues. They got a miracle out of Mark Leiter in the 10th inning tonight. A miracle. Tried to get a second one, couldn't get it done. Got a million voicemails. I'm going to mix them in tonight. Here's Willie.
You know, if I know Rodon is probably pissed. And it's a good thing I wouldn't be Rodon because I'd probably get suspended because I'd probably cuss his ass out.
Pulled after 88 pitches, tossing a shutout, and the bullpen got seriously exposed tonight. Look, if you're a baseball fan and not just a Yankees fan, tonight's game had to be pretty interesting to you. I always love watching young pitchers break into the major leagues. And so Chase Burns, drafted last year, filthy stuff, got his major league debut today. And he was great. I mean, he struck out the side in the first inning. You know, he had a nasty slider. He had 8 strikeouts overall in 5 innings. He looked really, really good. It reminded me of the first time I watched Kerry Wood pitch live, which was his 20 strikeout game in '98. His breaking stuff was a lot like that, where it was just stupid, just defied the laws of physics. We had Ben Rice back in there after a couple of red-hot days this weekend, and then, of course, a day off yesterday. Good to see that he didn't cool off. He hit one almost out of the stadium, longest home run of his career, 427 feet. Stanton was out of the lineup, but I think he would have had no chance against the Burns slider tonight. He got the day completely off. Jazz Chisholm. He swung the bat really well today, the old 70% approach. He had a couple of hits. Unfortunately, he had a bad call against him late in the game and then got ejected in the bottom of the 9th inning. We got some calls on that. Let's go to one.
Hey, Derek. Once again, I feel like I've called you like 3 times today. It's Marvin from Columbus, Ohio. Jazz Chisholm. This guy thinks that he's doing the Miami Marlins, bro. Like, I just don't get it. Why this guy cannot just be a grown-up adult? Like, grow up, bro. Just freaking grow up. Second thing is, that ejection just showed us who our manager is in Aaron Boone. Essentially, bro, this guy has no testicles whatsoever. Like,
yeah, you got to say something to Chisholm there. You got to get him to cool down. You got to realize that was a very selfish move by Jazz Chisholm to get tossed there. You had to know you're getting tossed. I mean, struck out, bad call, it happens. It's the 9th inning. Go out there and do your job. But Peraza was playing third. Peraza made a couple of plays that I don't think that Chisholm would have made because he brought his at-bat out with him to the field. Big 2-run triple for Volpe tonight. Also struck out 3 times. Yankees bullpen blew it. Let's go ahead and get to the recap, the formal recap. Hey, quick promo, by the way. Thursday, we're going to do a trade targets episode. We do one about a month before the trade deadline every year where we pick out our best trade targets. So leave yours in the comments, in the chat, and I'll be live. I haven't decided exactly what time, either like 7:30 on Thursday or maybe like 9 o'clock. I haven't decided. Depends on the weather. I know that's weird, but I kind of want to have a fire outside. I don't want to start it too late, but we'll see. Anyway, Both pitchers started off great. Rodon had a good first inning, although Jazz Chisholm didn't help him at third base. I wonder if the Yankees would go out and get a third baseman and move Chisholm back to second base. I mean, it would make sense to me. I keep hearing the name IKF, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, if you're new. He's having a decent year. And he's a good third baseman. He plays hard. He's liked in the clubhouse. We know the Yankees liked having him. They kept running him out there. I didn't like how they kept putting him in left field and center field. But if you stuck him at third base like he should have been when he was acquired, I think he's a good fit. Gold Glove winning third baseman. Makes contact. Something to consider. Maybe we'll talk about it Thursday. Judge made a really good catch to end the bottom of the third inning. I always get terrified when he's running towards the wall. I think I have PTSD from that play in L.A. with the toe. Ben Rice, as I mentioned, long home run, 3/4 of the way up the seats in right field. Just missed going into the river, home run number 14 on the year. Yankees tacked on a couple of runs. Judge singled, Chisholm singled, and then Volpe with a 2-run triple, his third triple of the year. He had a tough night, though. He struck out 3 times. So even though he drove in a couple of runs, 3 Ks. But I like the approach that got him the triple. Just stay with the pitch. Take it up the middle. Jack says, Boone is the reason we need to bring bullying back. How about just accountability? How about let's start with bringing accountability back. Let's start with bringing discipline back. Paul Goldschmidt saved a run and an error on Chisholm to end the 4th inning. Rodon was done after 6. We'll talk about him more in a minute, but pulled after just 88 pitches. I thought he was terrific. Loizaga promptly gave up 3 runs to tie the game, had the bases loaded, and served up a shot into the corner. And then, he exited the game. They didn't say why. It looked like he left with the trainer, but then he sat on the bench, which you usually don't do if you're injured. Maybe it was cramping. Maybe it was like, he wasn't feeling well or something, but I'd like to know the answer to that. If somebody comes up with it during the show while I'm live, let me know. Brian Bashman says, IKF me once, shame on you. IKF me twice, shame on me. That is a quality comment, and he paid to leave it. You got to appreciate a guy like that. Anyway, the umpire did hose Chisholm on that play. It was clearly out of the zone, but you got to put that away. You got to put that aside. It's part of being a baseball player. It's not the first time he's had a bad call on him, and it won't be the last time. I get it. You want to be the hero right there. You want to get a big hit for your team. You want to do the thing, right? You want to get the highlights. You want to be on SportsCenter tomorrow. Well, now you're going to be on SportsCenter for doing something stupid, right? Because you couldn't maintain your composure in a situation. That just comes with being a professional. You got to be more professional there. Here's another call.
Hey, Derek, it's Mo again. How are you doing? Love the show. How you keep up what you're doing. I wanted to talk about the Chisholm ejection. I'm going to be real with you. I'm honestly happy that he got ejected. Because after these 2 plays by Peraza, I don't think he makes those plays.
Agree.
I think that his frustration carries out to the way, to the defense and possibly if he gets an at-bat in extra innings.
Yeah, appreciate the call. I mean, I agree with you. He got to be a little bit mentally tougher, right? I mean, and that's the difference playing in a New York market, right? We expect more. They used to say, what makes Yankees fans or New York fans the most educated fans? And then Jay Moore had a great line about that. He said, at most ballparks, when the pitcher messes up, a bunch of people don't stand up and say balk, right? That happens in New York. Things like this, too. We pay attention to guys who get tossed, and, we expect better in big situations. Other teams, they get fired up. Yeah, he got ejected. He deserved it. He told that umpire. Well, I feel like Yankees fans here would have rather he put that in his pocket and took it out on the opposing team. Anyway, extra innings Judge came up in a huge situation and popped out with the bases loaded. I keep defending him. He is an amazing player. And again, hitting .364, 1.188 OPS. But at some point, big guy, at some point, you got to make me look good here. You got to get the big one with guys on base late in the game. I know you hit the home run off of Crochet. I know you hit the home run off of Clase. I know you had 3 walk-offs back in 2022. Look, it's time to get a couple of really big knocks late in the game. This team is struggling right now. That's when you earn your paycheck. Not in the 2nd inning. Not in the 4th inning. Now. Big games when the team is struggling. Very nice job by Mark Leiter in the 10th, but couldn't get it done in the 11th. The Yankees did go ahead on a wild pitch in the 11th, but Cincinnati came back and walked it off. I mean, what do you say? What do you say? We lost 2 out of 3 to the Reds, and now you just hope you salvage the sweep. You avoid the sweep tomorrow before the day off on Thursday. BTR says, if we keep this up, I don't see us playing in October. And Franklin Lopez says, I know it's impossible during the season, but this team needs some major changes in all departments, players, analytics, coaching, etc. Switch from WB Mason to Office Space. Switch from Delta to United Airlines. Whatever you got to do, man. Let's talk about Rodon. I thought Rodon was great. I thought he got robbed of his 10th win tonight. I know a lot of stat gurus don't even care about wins anymore. I, to a certain level, agree because you see a lot of managers disregard it. They pull pit guys after 4 2/3 or whatever when they're pitching well. So you see win totals come down. But when somebody has a lot of wins, I still think it means something because it means you're pitching deep into games. It means you're pitching with a lead. I mean, by definition, you're contributing to your team winning. Right? I mean, even if you got a little bit of a high ERA, it happens. Guys have high ERAs with a lot of wins. You get run support. You're still getting more than 5 innings consistently. 6 brilliant innings, left with a 3-0 lead, 88 pitches. And look, like I said, I get it. It's hot. I'm assuming they pulled him because it was 88 pitches in the heat. He's a max effort guy. Getting paid a lot of money to work in the heat. A lot of people working in the heat during the day for a lot less. A lot less. I see the guys cutting the grass out here. I see kids cutting the grass for $10, right? Working in the heat for 2 hours. Getting paid 20-something million. You can go 100 pitches in heat. I think, though, despite the no decision, I bet he wanted to stay in there, first of all. I guarantee that was a Boone decision. I guarantee it. I think despite the no decision, he's pretty much solidified himself as an all-star this year. 2.92 ERA now. 96.6 topped out on the velocity. Final line, 6 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. But still, just 9 wins on the year. We got another call about this here.
Boone is a robot. He never changes up what he's supposed to do. Rodon still had his pitch count wasn't that large.
I appreciate that, Willie. Willie's great. Willie calls in a couple of times per game. I wish I could play him more, but I don't want to get too repetitive. But Willie, keep doing it. It's fun. It cheers me up. Willie is my pinstripe therapy. But anyway, yeah, I agree. I think he should have stayed in. I think he was pitching great. I think he was cruising. I think you don't mess with that. Why get 9 outs out of the bullpen if you don't have to? You're in the middle of or near the end of a stretch where you're playing 16 games in a row. This was number 15. Bullpen's worn out. You got guys going down. I think what you got to do there is get as much as you can out of Rodon, and I'd be interested to hear if he had to come out for some other reason. But I think he's an all-star. I think the Yankees have a few all-stars. I think Ben Rice is an all-star. I know he's hitting just 241, but he's got 819 OPS. He's got 14 home runs. He's been extremely unlucky. Even tonight, he hit 2 balls on the nose right at the right fielder. He could have easily been 3 for 4 tonight. Let's get to some more voicemails.
I don't want to hear it that he struck out in the 9th, Volpe, because remember he had a 2 RBI triple earlier. So people are going to say, not clutch, trash player. Dude, we would lose right now if he didn't do that. Come on.
Well, I get it. Big 2-run triple. It should have been a 2-run single. The guy should have knocked that down. You got no business diving for that ball with 2 runners on base. You play the hop, you keep it in front of you, and maybe you even keep a run from scoring. Volpe should have been 1 for 4 with 3 strikeouts and a single tonight. Let's just be honest with that. But he got the triple. We got a call here from Eddie.
Yeah, Derek, Eddie down here in Florida. And I just saw meatballs and lasagna come in and blow the lead. Every time he comes in the game, I'm just waiting for the thing to fall. And that's
Eddie, I love your accent. You remind me of so many guys that I lived around when I was growing up. You know, my dad's friends would come over, like Eddie from Florida. Derek, how you doing? We got another call here about the bullpen.
Hey, Derek. It's Melvin from Ohio. I was just telling my wife, I was like, you know, with the Yankees, no lead is enough. And right now, the way that they're struggling to score extra runs after they score, you know, once in one inning, and I think John Boy was talking about this, the Yankees over this season have only been scoring a lot of runs in one inning, and then they just don't score again. And I think that's really going to...
Yeah, I appreciate the call. Yeah, I think that it's a lot of it because of the home runs. You know, I mean, they hit a lot of like 3-run home runs, where that's their game. And that's why they stink in extra innings, quite frankly, because they can't manufacture runs the way a championship caliber team really should. Got a call here about Paulie.
Hey Derek, this is Melvin calling you from Columbus, Ohio, man. I'm just watching the game, and I have to say, Paul O'Neill really, really makes me a very happy watcher. This guy, man, he carries Michael K. when he's out there in the booth, man. This guy is very entertaining, very funny. He just forgot how to do math and, you know, forgot how to add and subtract with the hot dogs and beers. That was a funny one, man. But, yeah, I definitely love Paul O'Neill. I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but I want to hear it.
Appreciate it. I love Paul O'Neill. He's one of my favorite announcers. He was one of my favorite players, one of my favorite all-time Yankees. Let's talk a little bit about Lombard, who's settling in a little bit at Double-A. He's got it up to 221 with the average 352 on-base percentage. He does have 24 stolen bases already in the minor leagues, only 3 home runs and 27 RBIs. I think it's interesting when someone clobbers like 3-4 home runs in spring training and then they don't hit many during the season. 44 strikeouts and 149 at-bats, too much. I've seen a lot of people say, hey, we should, sit down Volpe, call up Lombard. Not going to happen. Not ready. I mean, hitting just 221 in Double-A, so he needs some time. But if he has a hot second half, I could see him in Triple-A next year to begin the year, and then you're just one pulled hammy away from the major leagues, as I always say. Spencer Jones, been crushing the baseball. He leads the Eastern League in home runs. He got 15 homers now, 994 OPS. He's got 10 stolen bases. But again, strikeouts are too high, 65 strikeouts in 162 at-bats. I think there's a non-zero chance that another team will take Spencer Jones's athleticism and his home run potential and give you something for him at the trade deadline. I don't think the Yankees are going to use him. I think you got Dominguez solidifying left field. I don't think Bellinger's going to opt out. He's not going to get a big payday elsewhere. He's having an okay year, but I wouldn't opt out if I were him. And then Judge not going anywhere in right field. You got 2 DHs. I don't think that they're going to be able to play him even if they kept him, and I think that his athleticism is enough and his power potential is enough that someone will take a chance on him just like the Yankees did. He strikes out a lot, but so did Joey Gallo, and we saw people keep signing him and stuff, so I think he has some value. If I were the Yankees, I would approach Colorado about him because, I mean, if he hits the ball in the air with his size, he's going to hit 40 home runs in Colorado. His average might go up a little bit because it's more of a spacious ballpark. The breaking ball won't break as much. It's just a better ballpark for runs. I bet you could turn him into a decent major league player in Colorado and maybe hit 30, 40 home runs, maybe not strike out as much as he would in New York. Probably hit for a 220, 230 average, but there's value in somebody like that with his power. And he's fast. He can patrol the outfield. I'd see what the Rockies would give us. They got a couple of good relievers. They got Ryan McMahon, who you could play at third and move Jazz back to second. Just a thought. And Cam Schlittler. I think we might be seeing him sooner rather than later. Marcus Stroman is on the mend, but he got shellacked today in his minor league rehab start. So I wouldn't count on seeing him anytime soon. His career might be over, honestly. He's had some injuries, and he's ineffective. He gave up 10 hits in like 3 innings in the minor leagues today. And I know I said recently you don't want to hold guys rehab against him, but this is a major leaguer, an established major leaguer. That's just being ineffective, right? It's just being ineffective. Cam Schlittler should get the next start for Ryan Yarbrough's spot, if you're asking me. Alan Winans was okay for a couple of innings, but he doesn't throw hard enough to get major league batters out after the first trip through the order, in my opinion. This guy throws 95 miles an hour, got good spin rates, 15 in the third innings, 24 strikeouts at AAA. Hitters are hitting just 204 against him. He's got 88 strikeouts between AA and AAA and 68 in the third innings. 24 years old, and you got to put him on the 40-man roster. You're going to lose him because he is Rule 5 eligible after the year. So if he ends up being in the draft, somebody's going to snatch him up. You could see him getting traded because of his potential. Somebody will put him on the 40-man roster, or you could see him getting called up. If I put my GM hat on for a second, I'm calling him up. I'm DFAing Winans. Sorry, big guy. Nice effort the other night. Good job in AAA. If he clears waivers, you can put him back in AAA, and you can basically take him off the 40-man roster with the loophole the Yankees have done a few times with the Scranton Shuffle. But I want Cam Schlittler making a start for the Yankees very, very soon. Quick word from Arena Club, then back with final thoughts and maybe 1 or 2 voicemails.
By now, you know about Arena Club. Buy, sell, trade, open up slab packs to get a card that you don't think you could get usually, but the Grails will tell you that, for example, there's an Aaron Judge rookie card in this week's slab packs, so make sure you check those out.
No doubt. Those are what you want, the Grails.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Judge Grail is awesome, graded, traded if you want, tell you how much it's worth, whatever you want to do. And I'm a big Michael Jordan fan with my 23 shirt on. There's a Michael Jordan Grail in there that I'm looking forward to try to get.
20% off your first slab pack or card purchase at arenaclub.com/foul. Use code FOUL.
All right, got a couple more super chats here. Jean says, where's Hal Steinbrenner and does he really care? I mean, we don't see him very often, but I've heard he stays around the team, but I don't see him. He's not as present on television as his dad was. And Brian says, it doesn't matter how many stolen bases Lombard Jr. gets, Boone won't let him steal at the major league level. Yo says, don't DFA Hamilton. I don't think they'll DFA Hamilton. He's got a good arm, but has not been as effective. Stephanie says she misses the win hat. Me too. Me too. Edwin says he's tired of Loaizaga. He should be dealt at the deadline. They were just talking about how good he looks, and then it fell apart. Look, if he's hurt, I mean, how many chances are you going to give this guy? It's been one injury after another since he came to the Yankees. Remember, he started out as a starting pitcher for the Yankees, and he got injured. They moved him to the bullpen because they didn't think he had the durability, and he's been injured there as well. So, hey, tough night for the Yankees, unfortunately. I'll be back tomorrow after the game, and then Thursday night, reminder to put your trade suggestions in the chat or call in on the voicemails, and we'll do a trade show on Thursday night, depending on my weather. Probably 9 o'clock. It might be a little too hot to do a fire. We'll see. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. If you made it this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068. Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through NYYDesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, NYYDesigns.shop. And check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.